So this is around the year 2003. I remember because one of the girls that we were working with in the restaurant moved to New Orleans, and that's when Hurricane Katrina came. She went to school to go to, she moved to New Orleans to go to school there. Luckily, she was able to get out of the way of the hurricane. She wasn't affected. Mostly it was just poor people and people that didn't have any money that were the ones affected by Hurricane Katrina, unfortunately. But this is around 2003, and I'm a waiter at Islands Fine Burgers and Drinks in Palm Desert. Really nice restaurants, kind of got like the Applebee's vibe, but with a surf. Like they got surfboards in there, and they're constantly playing surf videos, and they call it a lively tropical atmosphere. But like the food is kind of like Chili's. But they got like a Hawaiian burger. Anyways, good place to eat if you want to go. But I'm working there as a waiter, good money, and it's all at the time. When I first started working there, I was 20 years old. I turned 21 there, and I think I left when I was 22. So I worked there for about 2.5 years. I had already turned 21, and it was all young people between the ages of 15, and I think the oldest person was 37, but there was only like one 37-year-old. It was mostly like 15 to 30. That was like the age range there. And we all partied. UFC had just came out. We'd all hang out and watch UFC, and sometimes we'd go to Vegas and watch fights. We were always partying. We were all into drinking. And we were all just having a good time, just being young. So me and my friend Dave decide to go and hang out with Rachel and Shayna. Shayna is a bus girl getting ready to be a waitress, and Rachel used to be a bus girl, and she's now a waitress. And Rachel and Shayna are like best friends. And Rachel has a sister named Jessica who's a host. And so me and Dave's like a ladies' man, you know, like all the girls like Dave, and you know, I was never a ladies' man. Women never liked me, ever. I think when I got out of prison, they liked me, like for the first couple weeks, but that was about it. But yeah, so Dave's a ladies' man, so all the girls want to hang out with Dave. Dave's like 19, he's jacked, he's funny, good personality, drives a crappy car, but none of the girls even care about that. I don't even have a car. We're driving in Dave's car, and Dave drove at the time, so this was 2003, at the time this was a 98 Ford, not a Tempo, not a Taurus, Contour. It was a Ford Contour. It looked like a Taurus. So the Ford Contour is small car, cheap, made out of plastic, one of the cheapest cars you could probably buy at the time. I think Dave bought it for like $2,000. So we go over to Rachel's mom's house. Rachel's parents weren't there. So we go to hang out with Rachel, Jessica, and Shayna. And we're just hanging there. I think I was the only one who had a drink. So I was drinking, not a lot. I wasn't drunk. I'd only had like a couple. And we're just hanging out. Like, I don't even remember what we were doing. Just talking and having snacks. Nobody was, like, I was the only addict there. Like, I was kind of like a closet addict at that time. Like, I was a hardcore addict, but nobody really knew about it yet. Mostly just drinking and weed and prescription pills at the time. But so we're hanging out there with the girls, and it's getting late, and me and Dave have to be at the restaurant at 11 o'clock. We had to be there, 10:45. It started at 11, but we had to be there, and so we got to leave, and it's getting late, so we decided to go. It was about 1 in the morning. So, and Dave's driving. We're driving back to his house. Dave lived in Desert Hot Springs. So we're driving from Palm Desert to Desert Hot Springs. It's about a 25-30 minute drive. and there was no traffic because it was 1 in the morning. So we're driving, and I was awake, but I was tired, and I wanted to stay awake just to be alert, and I wanted to keep Dave company because I didn't want him to like fall asleep or anything. But I trusted Dave. He was a good driver. So I trusted him, and I decided to take a little nap until we got back to Dave's house in Desert Hot Springs. So I put the seat back, and I close my eyes, and I fall asleep. Well, after I fall asleep, I get woken up to the rumble strip. And so I get up, and I look, and I look at Dave, and Dave is sleeping, and we're going off the side of the road. I said, Dave! And so Dave wakes up. We go off the side of the road, and over there in the desert, it's all sand. So we drift off the side of the road onto the sand. Right when we hit the sand, dirt covered the windshield, so it went black. Dave is, and keep in mind, we're going 80 miles an hour on the freeway, 6 lanes of traffic, right? Oh, I'm trying to get over, hold on, guys. So we go off the side of the road. Windshield goes black. We can't see anything. You know how they say, like, your life flashes before your eyes? Well, it does. My life was flashing before my eyes at that moment, and I'm thinking, like, I'm 21, like, I'm gonna die right now. And that was it. And I start praying, like, God, I said, Jesus, if I'm gonna die, I said, please, like, don't let me go to hell, please forgive me of my sins. And that's what was on my mind at that moment. Like, everything was flashing before my eyes, and I felt like I was gonna go meet God in about 30 seconds. So that was my prayer, like, God, forgive me and remember me when I die. So Dave is turning the wheel, and I know, like, by doing the math, I kind of knew where the car was at. So we go off the side of the road. I remember when we went off the side of the road, I was actually kind of hoping that we would spin out and kind of like roll over, because I was thinking, if we go out in the middle of traffic, one of these cars behind us is going to hit us and T-bone us, and we're going to die. So I remember thinking, like, oh, I hope we fall over here so that we might survive this. And he's turning the wheel, and I feel us doing a complete 360. And at this point, I know we're in the middle of the 6 lanes of traffic. So then I'm just like, it's hard to see anything. So at this point, I'm bracing for impact. I'm thinking, all right, somebody's gonna hit us because we're circling right now, right? And I'm like, and then I see we're slowing down, but we're still moving at a high rate of speed, and I see we're going towards the guardrail on the left side. So we go all the way from the right. Now we're going all the way to the left, and at this point, I'm thinking, yes, we're gonna hit the guardrail. I know I can survive hitting the guardrail. And so I see the guardrail coming closer, 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 and then all of a sudden the car stops facing the opposite direction. Okay, and my door, I tried to open up my door, and there was no room to open up my door, not even an inch, because if I tried to open it, it hit the guardrail. So that's how close we were to hitting. We never hit anything this close, and so I knew that moment. I knew God had saved us. I'm like, there's no way we fly off the side of the road, wind up on the other side of the road, and miss the guardrail by a centimeter. I'm like, and so I start thanking God. I'm praising God. Thank you, Lord, so much. Like, wow, I just got a second chance at life here. That's the way I was thinking. So we get out and we assess the damage, and Dave's front bumper was almost completely off. And that was the only damage. And so I didn't think the car was going to be able to drive. So what we did is Dave had some string in the back, and so we took some string around his bumper, and we tied it, and we put the bumper, like, well enough on to where you could drive with it, and the car was fine, and we drove right back to Desert Hot Springs and went to Dave's house. So we fall asleep, and then in the morning I'm still thanking God, like, wow, I got a second chance at life. Like, that's amazing, you know, like totally consumed by what happened. And I'm talking to Dave about it, and Dave just is not looking at it the same way that I'm looking at it. He's not even talking about it. It's not even a thing. Like, I'm like, second chance at life, and Dave's like yeah, I'm hungry. Like, it was so weird. Dave had a sister named Melissa. Melissa was like the big sister, you know, always like looking out for him, and Melissa was real bossy and kind of bossed everybody around, control freak, but she was nice. I like Melissa a lot. And Melissa's a bartender. She's older than us. I'm 21. Melissa's like 26 or something. And so when we go to work, Melissa's working, and I tell Melissa what happened. I'm like, Melissa, we went up the side of the road and we turned around on the freeway and like nothing happened. Oh, and check this out, guys. So when me and Dave woke up in the morning, I went out to the car to see if there was any damage, because it was dark out. And I was tired, so you know, I couldn't really see anything. So there was branches stuck in the windshield wipers. Like, that's how close we were. Like, Palm Desert has trees, but they're not like big gigantic trees, but like we were that close to the tree branches. Like, we were like in the tree, like this far away from the trees, to where we hit the branches. So there's tree branches stuck in the windshield, and Dave's car is fine, you know, handled it fine. And my whole thing is just like, wow, God, thank you so much for giving me a second chance at life. I tell Melissa's like, David, what happened? Oh my gosh, David, you got to be careful, you know, freaking out. And then Melissa like is the biggest gossiper at work. So she goes around and tells everybody, David and Timothy almost died last night. and so the whole restaurant knew about it. But that wasn't the first time God had saved me, but that was one of them. And I'm really thankful for that. But there's been numerous other times. I remember when I was a baby, I was 3 years old, and my dad had a motorcycle. And I was sitting, I think my dad put me on top of either I climbed up or my dad put me there. And I'm on top of the motorcycle, and this was a big 650, like a Honda Shadow. And I remember falling over, and I hit the ground, and then the motorcycle landed on top of me, like actually landed on top of me. And I remember there wasn't a scratch on me, nothing. All the times that I overdosed, and I'll tell you what, I overdosed quite a few times, okay? I never died. And guys, if you're watching this video, don't think, oh, you know, you can go and overdose and it'll be okay, because I've gotten high with people and they've tried it for the first time and they've died. I've seen people die. I've seen seasoned junkies, guys who do fentanyl every single day. They've been doing it for 10 years, and then boom, they do something, and they don't even do extra. They don't do anything more. They just do the same amount that they're used to, and for some reason their body just doesn't absorb it like it normally does, and boom. Or you drank a certain type of alcohol, and that alcohol reacts differently to your body. So then when you do the dope, you didn't know that the dope had a certain cut in it, and that cut reacts with the alcohol, because the dealer doesn't tell you what he's cutting it with. You have no idea that certain cut reacts differently with this, and then boom, and you die. So that's another thing. There was this guy named Mark Sear, okay? I met Mark in jail. Mark, I met him because in jail, you have your regular showers, and then you have your handicap showers. And I remember nobody liked using the handicap shower because it was like right in the middle of the day room, and you were kind of visible to the whole pod, and you didn't have any privacy. So, oh, and the water didn't get very hot either. So that shower you never saw many people in that shower. The only people that would go in that shower would be like the new people that just came in the pod and they have no idea, and so they just jump in there because they don't know that the other showers are better. And this guy, Mark, is always in the shower, and the reason why is because he has one leg, and so he has to take off his prosthetic leg and put it out, and this particular shower gives him enough room to be able to wash himself, and it's just set up good for him since he's got a prosthetic leg. So that's where I met him. I never spoke to him much, but I had a cellmate, and my cellmate was either friends with him or knew of him, but a lot of people had told me the story. Well, the way that Mark lost his leg is he overdosed. I think it was in a bathtub or somewhere. I'm not sure. But he overdosed, and when he overdosed, he nodded out. So a lot of times you'll see junkies and they lean forward and they like, you know, they're going like this and they're nodding out. Well, he nods out and like leans in a weird position, and as he leans in a weird position, it cuts off the circulation to his leg, and he stays in this position because a lot of times when you nod, like you'll nod off and you'll go out, but then you're also tired, so the overdose then turns into sleep, like your normal sleep. So what happens is he nodded out and then just fell asleep in that position and didn't have any circulation on that leg for probably 8 hours. Woke up and his leg is useless. It's like clinically dead, and so he had to go to the hospital and they amputated it. There was no way they could save him. And there's quite a few people. Like I've known that a lot of people that this happened to, and I'm one of them. And I'm going to tell you the story about what happened to me. That almost happened to my situation was almost identical to Mark. So I had this fire dope, this Fetty dope. It was fire, right? Most of my overdoses came from mixing it with benzos because I love Klonopins and I love Xanax. And the thing is, when you're taking Klonopins and Xanax, it causes amnesia. You don't remember what you did the day before. Also, what it does is you don't remember how many pills you took. You could be like, oh, I think I took 1, but you took 10. Or, I didn't take any yesterday, but you took 5. You know, like, you don't remember things. So when you're doing your dope, you're like, how much dope can I do? Did I do any Xanax? And so that's what happens. It's not good to mix the two, and then you don't know where you're dosing at. And especially now with the fake pills and the fake press Xanax, it's a concoction, so you never know how much of the active ingredient is in one of the bars. You could get one press Xanax pill and it's got 5 milligrams of benzo. You could get another press Xanax bar, it's got 2 milligrams. You have no idea. You could get a whole batch and it's got 0.1 milligrams. So you're like, oh, these things suck. So you do 10 of them. Then you buy another batch and these ones are stronger, and then you die. You know, it's like, that's how you die. So I'm going to tell you the story so I'm at my dad's house, and my dad works the night shift at Walmart. So his nighttime is 8 in the morning. So he's up, he gets off work, he gets home at like 7, between 7 and 8, and he's got a bunch of energy, just got off work. He makes his ramen noodles, cooks some beans, drinks some beers, smokes some cigarettes, and then he's passed out by 10:30 a.m., okay? So I know that after 10:30, I got the whole house to myself. As long as I'm quiet, he's not going to wake up, he's going to be passed out, and I can do my thing. And my thing was usually going in the bathroom and getting high. And so that's what I'm doing. Dad's sleeping. This is about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in the bathroom and I'm shooting up the fire dope. I got about 1 gram, and I'm doing it. And I also had lack of sleep. So the way my dad's bathroom is, I want to say it's like 4 by 5, like 4 feet, and no, it's like 3 by 5. So you got you in the mirror. Okay, so you walk in and the door is behind you. The sink is directly in front of you. Then you got the mirror. So if you walk in and then you close the door and you go arm's length, your arm is going to be touching the mirror. That's how close it is, okay? And then on each side of you, if you put your hand to the right, you can touch the wall there. And if you touch your hand to the left, your hand will be in the shower. So that's what the shower's off to the left. Basically, the point I'm trying to get across, it's a tight squeeze, it's a small bathroom, okay? So I usually put my stuff right up on the sink, and I'm drawing up, and I nod out, and I go out, okay? So I'm out, and what happens is instead of going forward, I go backwards. And then I go backwards, and then I'm kind of just, I nod out, and I fall asleep, crouch down, like I'm squatting. You know, like when you're squatting, you go all the way down. Well, I'm all the way down, and I'm in that position, and when I'm down, I'm hunched over, like I'm praying. So I'm like that. And I'm out, right? I'm out. Thank God. I don't know how long it was. It was at least a few hours, okay? I want to say at least probably 2 or 3 hours, okay? My dad knocks on the door and wakes me up, and I know immediately what's going on. He's trying to come in to take a piss. And I'm like, oh, hold on, Dad. And he's pushing the door because my dad knows I'm a junkie. So, of course, his immediate thought is, well, what is my junkie son doing in there? I want to see, does he got his needles out again? Like, it was always about finding needles, right? So he pushes the door, and I know that when he's looking in, he can see my paraphernalia sitting right there. And I'm like, hold on. I said, Dad, I fell asleep. He's like, what do you mean you effing fell asleep? How do you effing fall asleep in the bathroom? And so I'm like, hold on, Dad, hold on. And so I'm like trying to grab my needles and my dope, and and I grab it, and I'm like, all right, Dad, go to the bathroom, right? He goes in there. I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't leave anything in there, right? So I go out into the living room. My dad's freaking out. He's swearing at me. And when I had walked, my leg was asleep. Both of my legs. Both of my legs had lost circulation, right? And it hurt. I'm like, oh, man, my leg hurts. And so, and this had happened before, so it wasn't uncommon. So I'm like trying to walk around my dad's living room to get the circulation, because I knew I had fallen asleep and in that position. I knew I had cut off the circulation. So I get feeling back in one leg, and I'm trying to get the feeling back in the other. And I'm walking, and this, like, the pain level on 1 to a 10, 10 being like the worst, we're at about a 9. Okay, this was some extreme pain, all right? And it hurt so bad. Plus, that feeling of when you can't, when you lose circulation, that feeling of just loss of energy, like where everything just hurts. That's what I'm feeling, and I'm just waiting for the blood to start flowing again, but it's not. Blood is not flowing. And I start thinking about Mark, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And that's scaring me, because I'm thinking like what happened to Mark is happening to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm trying to get feeling. Dude, feeling is not coming back in my leg. Eventually, after about 30 minutes and lots of prayer, like, God, please don't let me lose my leg. Okay? After a lot of prayer and just, I finally end up getting feeling back in my leg after about a half an hour, okay? But this had never happened. Like, if I lost circulation, like, I always got feeling back within, like a minute, 2 minutes at the most, never longer than a minute or two. So for this to go 30 minutes without getting feeling back in my leg, that was scary, and I knew exactly what had happened. So I get the feeling back, and let me tell you what happens. So for the next 2 weeks, maybe some of you medical people are watching this and will know what I'm talking about. I never went to the hospital, so I don't know what happened, okay? but my whole body, not just my legs, I'm saying my arms, my neck, everything in my body felt like I had been hit by a truck, fell on the ground, and I was like recovering from like massive, from getting hit by a semi truck. That's the way I felt. So like my guess is that I had almost done some severe damage to my body to where it had messed up circulation everywhere, not just my leg. And I truly believe that had my dad not come in and pound on the door, I don't think I would have woken up probably for another, who knows, 4 hours. I think I either A, would have lost a leg like Mark, or B, I would have died, because that was scary, man. That was one of the scariest moments of getting high. And there's another incident where God spared my life, and I'm very, very thankful, because a lot of people don't get to overdose and come back. A lot of people don't get that chance, and I don't know why God spared me. I have no clue, but I'm forever grateful. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to be making this video right now. I'm thankful to be driving a nice car. I'm thankful to have food. Since I've been out of prison, I've been living the lap of luxury. Like everything is too luxurious now. And this is what I wanted. This is what I had dreamt up for myself. I remember being in prison and just writing a list of things. All right, I want LeBrons. I want Jordans. I've got so many pairs of LeBrons and Jordans that it's not even about that anymore. I wanted to get a new wardrobe. I've got like the nicest clothes, better than anybody I know. I want a nice backpack. You know, I got that. I want to get a new car. I'm sorry. I want a Mercedes. The Mercedes, that's what I dreamt up. That was my dream. I wanted a Mercedes. I got a Mercedes convertible. I traded it in for this one, but I had the Mercedes convertible. I'm not talking about like big balling status. I'm talking about just like, I've always been on drugs and poor and never had enough money for a hamburger. So I'm saying, like, I just wanted to like be like a normal person, where if I want to go to the store and buy a piece of pizza, it's not going to break the bank, you know, like that's what I'm talking about. And so yeah, it's almost to the point where like I need to start like giving some things up. It's gotten too luxurious. I met a really good girl on the Upward Christian dating site. Really nice girl. She's Indian. She came from an arranged marriage, and it was a brutal marriage. And yeah, so I found a really good woman, and life is really good now. I never went to AA. I never went to NA. I mean, I did, but I'm saying I never like worked the program. I never did the whole, none of that traditional like AA, NA. Now, do I think it's for some people? Yes, but for me, it wasn't for me. I didn't vibe with the people in there. I didn't like how people would say things like my higher power is a ham sandwich, and whenever I'm having a rough day, I get on my hands and knees and I just pray to my ham sandwich. You know, they never acknowledge God. They just always acknowledge something that's not God, you know. And they would do things like, you got to cut everybody off. You got to delete everybody's number. You got to be selfish about your sobriety, because your sobriety comes first before anything, you know. And I didn't like all that, you know. Yeah, it's good for some people, but it wasn't for me. But yeah, so I'm starting to ramble. I'm gonna cut this video, and you guys have a good night. Just to let you guys know, I'm gonna be starting my Patreon, and I'm gonna be doing like videos on YouTube, and I'm also gonna be doing videos on Patreon. I haven't exactly figured out what Patreon is gonna be. I might do it in a series form. I might do it the same way I'm doing YouTube, but it's gonna be like a paid format. So you're gonna get like exclusive rights. Because guys, I think and I'm not trying to brag, but I think my channel is going to get really big. And I want my channel to get big, not for my own sake, but I want it to get big so I can do the things to help out other addicts, single mothers, people in recovery, and all my friends who are still deeply hurting. Okay, so that's what my focus is. When my channel gets big, I'm not going to be Wes Watson and going out and buying a Ferrari. I'm not going to be 1090 Jake and buy a chain and hang out with gang members. That's not going to be me. I'm going to take all my money, and all my money is going to the community. It's going to people around me. Okay, I've already got everything I want. That's the next step, when you can really help other people. What did Christ do? He died for people that didn't even care about him. So when my channel blows up, I'm going to use my channel and my money to help people who don't even care about me. So that's where this is going, guys. Thank you for subscribing, all you that have subscribed. Thank you for all you that have liked and comment. If you guys notice, I don't say like, comment, subscribe. You know why? Because I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I'm not going to ask you guys to do it. Why? Because you guys already know. Doesn't every YouTube channel say like, comment, subscribe? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. And another thing is, all the channels that I follow, they all have these crazy monologues. It's got, it takes 30 minutes. No, I'm exaggerating, but it takes a while to start getting to the point. When you watch one of my video starts at second number 1. That's when it starts. It doesn't start in the 5-minute mark, doesn't start in the 11-minute mark. You click video, it starts. That's it. And that's the way it's going to be. It's never going to be some crazy monologues. I'm never going to, do what they're doing. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing it my way. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you for being part of this channel. And I'm ready for you guys to stay on this journey with me. Thank you.